Welcome back to MLive's Dungeon of Doom podcast. We're back on a semi-normal schedule. It's your Thursday midweek mailbag. I'm Ben Raven. He's Kory Woods.
What's the word?
Hey man, what's the word with you? You're battling through something. The late season blues.
I am out of it, but I'm going to push through because hey, the show cannot stop.
No, it does not. It does not stop. It can't stop. The Lions are 8-5. They're heading to face the NFC's top-seeded team, MVP frontrunner Matthew Stafford and the Los Angeles Rams. We've got a bunch of questions this week. 4 voice memos to the Dungeon of Doom at MLive.com email. I know, we're back. 4 of them. Good job, guys. I had to beg a little, but I ain't too proud to beg.
So is that a call? Is that a call because we had the temptation last week?
That's right. That's right. I'm glad. I was hoping you were going to catch on to that one. But thank you for those as we get into a normal schedule here again until the Christmas game ruins everything again. We'll be Thursday mailbagging it. So whenever you got a question, send it in, Dungeon of Doom at MLive.com. You know where to find us on social media. But Kory, what's your feeling ahead of this week's big trip to Los Angeles for the Lions?
I am honestly all over the map.
Yeah,
I know
too.
that I have to get consistent because I got to do predictions and stuff tomorrow, actually. But
no Jacob this week.
No
That's
Jacob
right.
this week, so, and I pick a fine time to get sick too.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Me needing help Friday, Jacob
Right.
being off. I was like, oh, sorry, bud.
Yeah.
Welcome to the NFL, kid. No.
No, it's just on the one hand, I feel like the Lions are about to go to SoFi and get blown out the water. just because of the secondary. It's I feel that they will be able to keep up scoring wise.
Yeah.
But just that secondary, no Brian Branch, possibly no Kirby Joseph. We'll see about that.
Yeah. I still don't have a good read on that.
No Terrion Arnold. So you're pulling guys off the practice squad. You're going through this again, and you're having a red hot Matthew Stafford. It's just and they're at home. It's just a recipe for a Lions loss. But at the same time,
it's the Lions.
They have to start stacking wins somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if they will have a different sense of urgency, because before it's like, okay, they can't keep alternating wins. Right now, their back is really against the wall.
Yeah.
And while I still think there's a pathway for them to make the playoffs if they lose this game, winning this game would make things a lot better for them in more ways than one, because who knows, if they get some luck, maybe they can find themselves somehow back in this division lead. Somehow there's actually if they have a lot of help, there's actually a pathway to number 1, which is kind of crazy to say.
Yeah, I know.
So I'm all over the map, but I think it's possible they can win, but not probable.
I have a hard time with it too, because there's a lot of just what I was talking about last week. Like, dang, where the Cowboys are good, that's where I have question marks on the Lions. It's kind of the same thing with the Rams this week, and you just throw on the top that, Stafford's been unbelievable. A 2-month stretch without a turnover, 35 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He's got 14 touchdowns out of Devontae Adams. Puka leads the NFL in catches and targets. They're a top 5 red zone offense, top 5 red zone defense. They're mixing up their personnel, a lot of 13 personnel, 1 wide receiver, 1 running back, 3 tight ends. They've been using that 3rd tight end as a receiver. That's a new wrinkle. The thing we're hearing about that is that kind of limits your playbook as a defense, because you don't have a lot of different plays for 13 personnel. So just a lot of challenges. And on that note, the reason why I got nitty gritty there is because Brian Branch is done for the season. Brian Branch is not just a safety. He's played aligned on the defensive line. He plays a lot in the box. He plays a lot at safety. He plays a lot in the slot. He plays some on the outside. You're not just losing another defensive back. You're losing your versatile chess piece that would have been very, 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 very handy to have this weekend in this matchup. But as you said, there is a window to the playoffs, even if they lose this game. If they win this game, you need less help. That's the big thing there. And if you win this game, you're only a game back on the Rams all of a sudden, I believe it is. So a win here, an upset win over the Rams. It's clean to call that an upset win. The Rams have been on another level, but There's still a path if they lose, especially with Week 18 in Chicago. That is a potential winner-take-all game. It just feels like it's kind of leaning that way once again. That's what I feel in my stomach.
If it is about to be Sunday night
in Chicago, it's gonna be so cold.
Oh my Lord, I will be ticked.
Yeah. No, it is that, because it's like, holy crap, January 4th. It's still TBD because the NFL flexes around Week 18, but it's really, I know there's some contenders to be flexed into that last game of the season with some division title races, but like, if the Lions and the Bears are playing for a playoff spot, Dan Campbell versus Ben Johnson to end the season is a pretty easy choice.
Oh, what? That is an NBC dream.
That's an easy choice. That's a layup. That is a layup. So I've already started mentally preparing myself for that. And I've also started mentally preparing myself for the potential 3 road playoff games that will come after that. Yeah, there's a chance that Steelers game on the 21st is the last game at Ford Field of the year.
Yeah.
And it's just a different world. 4-4 in their last 8 games, 3-3 since the bye week, up and down ride. They've really padded the stats on that NFL tying record streak of answering a loss with a win this season, but they're in it. They're alive. They're alive even if they lose. Obviously, it makes the road ahead a little tougher, especially if the Bears split with the Packers. The 49ers-Bears game is a big one to watch in the coming weeks, too. Just in a different situation here, where I know we were looking outside for the division last year. They needed some help with some Vikings losses that just never seemed to come, but it really feels like it's going to be game 253 or whatever they call it in Chicago, just the way it's lining up and just the team's path to the playoffs. But hey, who knows? They beat the Cowboys last week. That was the first time I picked against them in a while. I don't know what I'm going to pick tomorrow morning. That's my gut feeling is I don't see the Lions getting blown out. I see it being a close game either way. We'll see, though. It's really hard to bet against Stafford and the Rams the way they're playing right now. And just the first game without Branch, I don't think Herbie will play this weekend.
Yeah, and the thing about Branch, too, is aside from what he brings to the defense on the field and in the box score, I think he, along with Jack Campbell, are like the heartbeat of that defense, the swagger.
Yeah.
And just having that guy out in the secondary, like, that is just a significant blow.
Yeah.
And, I mean, like I said, I just hate to say it, right now, Stafford is probably going to win the MVP.
Yeah.
And he's going to be salivating because, I mean, his last 2 games against Detroit have not went his way.
Yeah,
but
true.
I mean, with so much on the line for him and his team, I just feel like he's going to have a bounce back week and just come out lights, with his hair on fire.
Yeah. They dropped 45 last week. They're not joking around. But we've got some mailbag questions to get into. We're going to start with our Doomer of the Week. We've got Dolly and Ray. So we're going to see where this one goes.
What is up, Dungeon of Doom? It is I, Dolly, and I'm here with...
Ray.
Yeah, that was boring, but we have a couple questions for you. Ray, you kick off the first one.
So, mano y mano, Los Angeles' D-line up against Detroit's O-line. Do we have a chance? Is it one of these situations where we're going to get swarmed, or can we hold them off for Goff to get the ball down the field?
Good question, Ray. My question is, I've got that wintry, warm, caramel latte feeling in my tummy about the Lions these next 4 games. Very optimistic. I wonder how you guys are feeling. I know there's been some sentiment out there from the so-called fans that it's doom and gloom, but this isn't the Dungeon of Doom for a reason. It's because we're out here supporting our team. I'm getting good feelings. I think we can run the table. Wonder what your thoughts are. All right, this is Dolly and
Ray
signing off for the Dungeon of Doom.
I like to see my style influencing questions. Dolly, you're the man. I told you Doomer of the Week was yours with a voice memo, and he came through, and he led to even more. I'll start with the D-line question and let you start the vibes question. Yeah, it's another tough task. Byron Young leads the Rams in sacks with 11, but man, I look at Fisk and Jared Verse.
He scares me.
Jared Verse.
He scares me.
Jared Verse is scary.
He scares me.
You got Kobe Turner. They got some young pieces. They've done a really good job at kind of putting some young pieces into their defense. Fisk, Turner, Verse, Stewart, Landman getting the recent extension. Poona Ford's always a guy I've had a lot of respect for. He's a vet, but man, Verse is kind of scary. Like what he brings to their defense, what he brings against the run, what he brings to the pass rush. I mean, this was the defensive rookie of the year last season for a reason, and he's even better this year. He's upped his forced fumbles, he's upped his sacks. 21 quarterback hits is already good for him. So it's a big challenge. It's not just a big challenge for the interior. It's a big challenge for the tackles. It's a big challenge for a roster all of a sudden featuring only one tight end on the main roster. We got a question on that. So I don't think the Lions will be overwhelmed, but this is not a game where you can have miscommunication issues. This is not a game where you can have missed assignment issues. This has got to be kind of an all hands on deck. I would expect a lot of heavy set formations, a lot more reps for Dan Skipper as the 6 extra offensive linemen, because this, like we've said for a couple of weeks, this is not just an offensive led team. This defense that the Rams have is legit. They've got some young playmakers. They've got some veteran guys. They play the pass well. They play the run well. They can beat you a number of ways. I mean, this is they've only given up 4 rushing touchdowns on the season. So
that's insane.
Yeah, it's a top 10 passing defense and it's a top 10 rushing defense with only 4 touchdowns allowed on the ground all season long. So, Kory, what are your vibes? Where do you put the chances to run the table like our dear friend Dolly sees?
Are we going like scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah, let's go scale of 1 to 10. Where are you at? 1 low, 10 high.
I'm at a solid 5.
That's fair with this next game,
I'm at a solid 5 because I feel like if they're able to get over that hump of alternating games back and forth, and they're able to, the Rams are serious.
Serious.
If you're able to slay this juggernaut right now, I think that could only just boost their confidence moving forward. Okay, you know what? We took down the current number 1 seed, like you said, half a game back. Okay, we can go ahead and take care of Aaron Rodgers. We can go ahead and take care of business and get back against the Vikings. Yeah. We'll be ready to go when it's time to go see Ben Johnson out there in Chicago. I think that this is a pivotal game for the psyche of that. The offense, I think the offense is good.
I do too.
I think that Dan Campbell has kind of figured that out and stabilized them. I don't think they're going to get totally ran over by the Rams defensive front, but they can't, like you said, can't have any miscommunication issues. But I just truly think if they're able to go ahead and slay them, it can only be a confidence builder moving forward.
Oh, if I'll say it like this, if the Lions beat the Rams this weekend, they're running the table.
Yeah.
Like that's how I view this game. You guys know how I feel about momentum. I think it's a thing you feel in the present. I don't believe in it week to week, really meaning much, as you've seen 4-4 over the last 8 games. But to your point about Campbell, he's unlocked another level out of JMO to where Goff is telling him, saying he's one of the most reliable plays. He's talking about JMO the way he's talked about St. Brown for 5 years, which is a major shift. I mean, he's always been confident in JMO, but now seeing him as like an every down type guy, and what he's done with Gibbs since he took over the offense is unbelievable. You know, we kind of always said if the offensive line can stabilize, this offense can hang with anybody. I still believe that. They win this game this weekend, they're running the table. Even if they lose this game this weekend, I honestly believe the Lions go 3-1 down the stretch. Like, because there's going to be no. Yeah, I know the Vikings didn't overwhelm the Lions with their offense in that win coming off the bye week. It was all defense, the cross-dog blitzes, mixing up the young interior offensive line. Those defensive challenges still exist. Brian Flores is still there. That defense can still do those things. But I don't see the Lions laying an egg like they did the last time against those guys. So, yeah, so that's where we are. I win this one, they run the table. Lose this one, I think they win 3 in a row. I really do. All right, we're going to our old friend Raymond Nuznoff with another voice memo. These are sent to the Dungeon of Doom at MLive.com email address, 24/7, 365. Send them in. You don't got to wait for me to call for them. something's on your mind, send it in. Here's Raymond Nuznoff, a previous Doomer of the Week.
Hello, Ben and Kory. This is Raymond Nuznoff, hailing all the way from Commerce Township, Michigan, home of the Amon-Ra St. Brown Cornfield Maze. My question to you is about Kirby Joseph. As you know, he has a knee that will never get better because it's got some wear and tear in there, and nothing surgery can ever make that better. So the dead cap for next year is $20 million for Kirby, and then it would drop down to $7 million in 2027. So do you think the Lions draft his replacement this upcoming draft just because he won't be around probably long term, especially if that knee doesn't get any better?
I'll say it like this. I don't think the Lions are waving any white flags on Kirby Joseph. I think there is hope that a full off season and dedicated treatment, figuring out a path forward to help that thing get right is still what should be the focus and the main priority. I mean, this guy's recently extended, just led the NFL in interceptions and All-Pro. Obviously, Kirby's words weren't encouraging when we spoke to him in the locker room a couple weeks ago, but with Brian Branch rupturing his Achilles with a very uncertain timeline to return next season, I mean, we've seen people come back in about 6 months, but Dan Campbell said after surgery, he did undergo surgery, called it successful. I mean, he said you get the standard 8 to 12 month timeline. So yes, I think they will draft safety help. I don't view that as a Kirby or Branch replacement. I view that as a holy crap, Kirby's knee and Branch is going to miss some time next season. We need to be ready and prepared for that. So yeah, I do think safety will be a priority. It has to be.
Absolutely. That's where I was going to go with it, because an Achilles injury,
yeah, man.
If it were ACL, I would still say they would need to go draft another guy, but I would feel a lot better about him returning from an ACL, just with the advances in medicine and recovery and training. But guys are never the same really after that Achilles injury.
I mean, it can change you. Yeah.
So I just have concerns about that. So I definitely think they need to go high, and I don't know how high they need to go, but it definitely needs to be a priority to go grab a safety in this draft. I think it needs to be prioritized as much as drafting offensive line help.
Yeah, I mean, I think offensive line and edge rusher are still the top priorities, but like Branch is entering the final year of his rookie deal on a ruptured Achilles. You've got a lot of things to figure out before. Unfortunate. It's just such an unfortunate timing. It's such an unfortunate injury. Obviously, that surgery has done a lot more through the years. It's improved. He's a young man with quicker healing powers than you and I possess. So don't close the door on Kirby or Branch yet, but it is at a point with those lingering and long-term injuries that you probably need to bring Avonte Maddox back. You probably need to sign a veteran. You should probably draft one for the future just in case something happens with Branch, just in case Kirby doesn't bounce back after an offseason, because there are multiple red flags. So,
and setbacks do happen.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
It's better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to go to Drew McCarthy, my old buddy Drew. I was best man in Drew's wedding, so wow, I can expect. This is Big Drew from former Big Drew and Jim Costa ESPN 96.1 fame. I know we got 12 listeners still out there that remember me from hosting that show back in the day, but here's Big Drew. I'm assuming this is going to be a fun one, knowing my guy.
Ahoy, Doomers. It's an old friend here dropping by to ask a couple of fun questions. Who do you think is the better commercial actor, Dan Campbell or Aidan Hutchinson? And what's one Lions player that needs to endorse something that they're not currently endorsing? Like, what's something that you just wish a company would call and be like, here, please endorse this player?
All right. On the Hutchinson-Campbell debate, I'll go with Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's fantastic in those Applebee's commercials.
It's not even a question.
And it's not even a doc on Hutch.
It's not the doc on Hutch. It's just that Dan Campbell's personality is like off the charts. It's like,
it is.
I mean, Come on.
I saw that one last night where he's just like smart kid. And I'm like, he's so perfect for these roles. Although I will give some love to Jared Goff for his Old Spice commercial. I always see it on Instagram ads where the guy tells him to hold it higher and he just delivers the pitch higher. Old Spice. I'm like, all right, Jared, that one was pretty good. But a Product Alliance player should be endorsing.
I already know where I want to go.
Where you got? Help me out.
He did it at Ford Field for the Corgi race. I think Amik Robertson needs to be doing a dog food commercial. Come on.
So he did. You guys need to look up the voiceover Amik did for the Corgi race last week. I'm sure the Lions posted it on socials. It is
on socials.
Unbelievable.
Get him doing some local advertisement for Pet Supplies Plus or Petco or something. It's just easy. I can just see him advertising dog food.
That's a really good one. Oh crap! I'm kind of freezing a little bit. I think that's a good one. You know what? I like that one. Gosh, yeah. Where's my creative juices? It's week 15. Yeah, we're just gonna go with a Meek Robertson dog food commercial based on last week's Corgi race. So thank you, Drew, for that one. Always a nice change of pace curveball. And we got one more coming from Chris Bordine.
What's up, Doomers? This is Chris from Lenawee County. I'm going to be a little bit more positive than my email last week. First off, shout out Ben for remembering that one time you were on a wrestling podcast with me and Matt Durr. I'm glad you remembered that. That's awesome. My question is, with the big four from the 2023 draft class being eligible for extensions this year, what is the order in which you would hand out those extensions? Right now, I'm thinking Campbell 1, Gibbs 2, and then you kind of got to wait and see with Branch and Laporta how they come back from injury. And the reason I have Campbell 1 is that even more so than Hutch, I kind of feel like that this is his defense. He's the stalwart on this defense, and you got to keep him around as the top priority. But excited to hear what you guys think. Thanks.
I never forget a wrestling podcast, Chris, and Matt Durr's my guy. You know, we made a couple wrestling trips together. Yeah, this conversation, we've gotten this one I think earlier this season, and I think I went Gibbs, Campbell, Branch, Laporta, and honestly, Gibbs and Campbell are like 1A, 1B.
You could coin flip.
You could keep them both 100%. Don't even question it. Sign the check. Like what Jack Campbell's doing on this defense. I mean, literally, first Lions linebacker since Chris frickin' Spielman to have 110 tackles and 5 sacks in a single season. He's got 4 games left. He's 2 off of his career high. He's already got a career high in forced fumbles and sacks this year, all while adding the green dot and still playing special teams and more snaps than anybody on the roster. So Campbell is a huge priority. But Jahmyr Gibbs is like something I've never laid eyes on before type of offensive player.
I don't want to be out of pocket because I did see Barry Sanders. I did see Calvin Johnson.
Yeah.
And 2 of the greatest lines I've ever seen, hence their gold jackets. But Jahmyr Gibbs, is it fair to say he might be the most explosive Lions player we've ever seen?
He is. Yeah, that speed, that's rare.
It's like
rare.
It's like, dude, are you? I'm looking at him live from the press box. I'm still looking like this looks fake. Because how are you that fast? Like his start and stop was like crazy. Like I saw it when he juked Deron Bland out of bounds, but when you look at the replay of it, you get a greater appreciation for what he did on that play.
Absolutely.
Coin flip on either one of them, but I mean, I'm not letting either one leave the building.
No chance. Lock it down.
But I will go Gibbs, Campbell.
Yeah.
Right now, just based off of the way things are going, I would probably go Laporta. And then maybe franchise Branch, or kind of figure that one out, because it's like a back is depending on how severe that back is, that's not good. And then Achilles, that's not good. So it's kind of like, depending on the severity of either one's injury, that for me is where I would go on the food chain.
2 injuries you don't want to be talking about.
Yeah.
Back surgery and a ruptured Achilles.
Yeah.
So Laporta and Branch absolutely still have cornerstone ability potential, but there are like concerning question marks on them. Because I mean, I think I had Laporta ranked 4th on that group before the back injury, just because we've seen Brad avoid a tight end that salary. I know it was a long time ago. Hutchinson set for an extension, traded him. Obviously a different franchise, different status, but like, you're already paying one safety a huge contract. Are you really going to pay 2 safeties that much, especially one with a knee injury and one coming off a ruptured Achilles? You know, if maybe franchise tag is on the table, I know that price goes up, but like if that's a way to keep one of those guys in town for the short term to figure it out.
Yeah, that's kind of where my thinking was.
And then 1 or 2 year deal the other, just to like, hey, we believe in you. Go out, prove it. Go out, prove you're healthy. We want you here. So there's going to be some tough conversations that have to be had. I think with Branch, you kick it down, you kick that tire to the end of the line as far as you can. And honestly, if Laporta is healthy in the offseason, spring program, whatever, we don't have a timeline or specificity on Sam Laporta. Dan Campbell will sometimes give us that stuff. When we pressed for it the other week, like, what's his injury? It's his back. We're like, all right, got it, Dan. We'll stop asking right now. So they already had some tough decisions coming. Now it's like, oh crap, back surgery and an Achilles. That's that changes things for sure. And you know, we'll see when we talk to Brad Holmes. We'll talk to Brad Holmes whenever the season ends, and just plan on that being a key conversation for sure. We do have a couple written questions. Look at us. Thank you guys. You guys are great in the questions. Once again, dungeonofdoom at MLive.com. If you don't feel like doing a voice memo, send a written message. Producer Patrick is the best in the game. He'll take care of you. We got one from Charles Bryan. The tight end position is so odd right now. Yes, it is. Are there any other players that can pop into that role? Thinking Tom Kennedy, maybe Tesla. They might not block as well, but they're decent targets. You know, the tight end situation is like this. It's Anthony Ferkshire has been here. He's the only tight end on the main roster as of this recording. They do hope Shane Zylstra is back this weekend. And get used to seeing Dan Skipper. Not as like your traditional pass-catching tight end, although they do run him on a route every once in a while, but like Dan Skipper's playing time has gone up, and that will continue to be so because he's kind of like a de facto tight end right now. Yeah.
I'm with it.
Yeah, and Zylstra, they would love to get him back this weekend. So I think it'll be Ferkshire, Zylstra, Dan Skipper helping out. Obviously, there's some spots for Tesla. You see what the Rams are doing with 13 personnel, putting a receivers at third tight end. Tesla's got the build, the blocking, I lost the willingness. There it is.
Yeah.
So that we'll see. But yeah, it's interesting. They waived Dwelly earlier this week. They waived Ricci earlier this week. Claimed 2 safeties. Obviously, they need that, but it's like, oh, Anthony Ferkshire's your only tight end on the main roster. Obviously, Zach Horton on the practice squad got some reps. They got a couple options on the practice squad. Just signed that Western Michigan kid too. But I would bank on Ferkshire and Zylstra, and if Zylstra's not ready, look for Horton to get elevated. But it's weird right now. You're missing Brock Wright and Sam Laporta. It's weird.
Which is crazy. They can get Zylstra back. I think that'll be a significant boost for sure.
Yeah, Zylstra's not the blocker that Brock Wright is, but I respect Shane Zylstra as a pass catcher. He's a former college receiver, knows his offense very well, smart player.
And that's kind of where I'm at with him. Like, if they could get Zylstra back, I think he could possibly be a guy they could turn to on some of those third downs, you know, in a similar fashion that they did with Sam Laporta.
Yeah. We got 2 Ahmed Hassanin questions. People want to know. Hey, you talked to him yesterday.
Yeah, I did.
Perfect.
I did the 5 questions with him. Actually, it's on MLive.com right now.
Nice. Look at that. Old BK and Danny Boy in the Sky want to know any word on Hassanin. It would be great to see him get a few snaps before it's all said and done, but I have no idea if that's even close to possible. What are the chances he could be elevated? He is on the practice squad across the final 4 weeks. He's been back with the team for a bit now. I'd love to see what he could do. Hassanin have anything to say?
We didn't have anything to say about that.
Yeah, he's not really obliged to talk about that.
Yeah, he didn't have anything to say about that. We just pretty much just talked about what he did in his recovery, how happy he is to be back, how the Metro Detroit urban community has embraced him, and how important it was for for him to return to Detroit. I even asked him about playing on blue turf at Boise State. Said he's colorblind, so he didn't really notice it.
Oh, I never thought about being colorblind playing on that turf. That's probably a wild experience.
Yeah. But for me, I would be shocked to see Hutchinson on the field at this point. I just think that right now, he's a project.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to rush him. You just got him back. I think the only way, God forbid, you see Hutchinson is if they're peppered with injuries on the edge, on the defensive line, and you got to bring somebody up. But I think right now, you got him back. Let him continue to learn. I don't think there's a rush to get him out there.
No, there's not.
And then just let him train, let him practice, let him build that knowledge up, and then boom, next year, if he pops in preseason, pops in training camp, okay, you got a guy there, you can go ahead and start rolling out. Because like we were saying, when you draft those project picks at round 6 and 7,
that's fine.
Nobody's gonna care about them taking a little bit of time to cook.
Nope. This wasn't a 3rd or 4th round pick like some of the other ones. So give him time to grow. If you get wind that somebody's trying to sign him, get in on your main roster and protect him. But I'd say right now, Hutchinson eats all the snaps that he eats. You got Muhammad, you got Davenport. Tyrus Wheat has really elevated as the guy who spells Hutchinson for like 5, 6, 7, 8 snaps a game. They got Lacey as a healthy scratch in a row. He's played some snaps this week. It's tough right now because Davenport is back and getting his feet under him. Muhammad is reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week after a 3-sack game. So right now, I don't see him getting elevated just because there's guys like Wingo and Lacey being healthy scratches on game day. So they would either have to lose a couple games in a row or a couple injuries would have to take place. But good questions. They love having him back. He's all about the team. He's all about getting better. I mean, he's the most optimistic, high energy dude I've covered in recent memory.
He is just so happy.
He's so happy to be here. Yeah. Not afraid to talk about it either. Holy crap, I got a locker. I got free food. I got a workout. I can, he's one of those guys that it's still mind blowing to him that he's here, but in a good way. Holy crap, I did it. Let's go.
Yeah. It's not like I'm happy to be here and I'm complacent.
No,
it's more it's I'm happy to be here. I'm appreciative, but I'm at the same time, I'm going to bust my rear end to stay here.
Absolutely. We got a couple more questions. Perfect timing. Call me Tomas. What one improvement might get the Lions past the wild card round? Simple, but continued interior offensive line growth and health. I think Mahogany coming back could help that. And you just need to hope guys like Rock Ya-Sin, Avante Maddox, and Meek Robertson, and DJ Reed lift that secondary. I mean, obviously Kirby Joseph getting healthy and being Kirby Joseph would be huge, but that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I'm there because with the secondary, because in the past 3 weeks, the Lions have given up in the past 3 games. Lions have given up over 1,000 yards, over 1,000 passing yards, and 8 touchdowns.
A lot of passing yards,
and that's 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns in 3 games is a lot. Which is why I'm concerned about this Saturday.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's say Sunday. So. Yeah, that's where I'm with that with the secondary. I think that if the offensive line can continue to build upon what they did against the Cowboys,
absolutely,
because it's a little shaky early on, but like we said, they stabilized as the game went on. If they can build upon that, I think they'll be fine because when Jared Goff has the time to get into his play action, he's as good as anybody in the league.
He is. We got one from Jeb Wieringa. Do you think Tom Kennedy has earned a permanent spot on the 53-man roster, even with Raymond's potential return? I think there's an argument to be made for his kickoff return job. Thanks for all you do and love the podcast and work. We just spoke with special teams coordinator Dave Phipps, so I'll knock this one out real quick. Sounds like the plan is for Cleve Raymond to retake his job as punt returner. That's fine. It's a 2-time second-team All-Pro there. Really good at it. We've seen what that can do. Look back to the Browns game. But yes, Tom Kennedy has earned a 53-man spot because he's your kickoff returner. He's your backup slot guy who knows every position on offense well. So, yeah, Tom Kennedy, what he's been doing in the return phase, not normal. First since Mel Gray type stuff. Oh, okay, dude. 3 40-yard kick returns, a 20-yard catch, and a 20-yard punt return in the same game, and then he comes out and does it again the next Thursday. Yeah, he's here to stay. But Raymond is the punt returner, but it will be Tom Kennedy and Jacob Saylors back deep on kickoffs. Kory, this one's from Bob. Do you know why Jamison Williams wears a face mask during indoor games? I saw Schottenheimer, the Cowboys coach, wearing one at practice yesterday, and he's like, all the kids think it's cool. So
I can kind of talk about this one a little bit.
You knew the green mouthpiece update, so I went to you for the mask.
I don't know why Jamison Williams wears it specifically, but I do know that the mask that he wears, it's known through urban culture as the Pooh Shiesty mask, which is named after the rapper Pooh Shiesty. And I don't understand why he's wearing it inside, to be quite honest.
Kirby does too.
I don't get it. The only thing that I could kind of think about is to cover their mouths so you can't read their lips. I think that's really the only advantage it has.
Yeah.
Like if you're after a game and you got that mask on, you can't really read lips when they're talking to other people. And then again, I guess it looks cool, but other than that, I mean, man, I'll ask him, but yeah. I wondered that too. I'm like, why the heck are you wearing a Pooh Shiesty mask inside? It's got to be hot as heck in there. I know you're sweating.
I know, that's what I was thinking too. It was like, that seems uncomfortable to play football inside with.
That's nothing but freaking.
It's 70 degrees in here.
I'm like, you're wearing some freaking I don't even know what material that is, but I know it's hot.
All right, we're gonna end on Phil. Phil always brings the long ones. What time we got? All right, we got time. We got a couple minutes. The Lions, this is from Phil. Thank you, Phil. The Lions have sucked for my whole life. The Lions have sucked for everyone else's whole life, Super Bowl or not. I sure am having fun cheering for a team that doesn't suck, but I also think it's a bit understandable that anytime something goes against the Lions, fans panic, feeling we may suck again. No one wants to go back and revisit that dark place we lived for so long. With that said, is our poor injury luck the past 2 seasons a reason to support Brad Holmes and his methodical team building? Would we be better off now if we have traded away a bunch of draft picks for that one player? Maybe it's just a fear of long memory, but I look at examples like the Colts, Vikings, and Commanders who all leveraged their future and had things go against them and wonder how easily could the Lions be back in the long dark of NFL irrelevance? Dude, this is, yes, we've talked about trading third-round picks for guys like Phillips and offensive line help in the middle of the season, but I never want to take away Brad Holmes' first and second-round picks, because what he has done to build this franchise has been through the draft. Hasn't been as no doubty home run as it was in 2023, 2021, and 2022. No, it hasn't. But when you take long shot darts on some guys in the middle to later rounds, that's what happens. How the Lions have drafted and the core that they have, we've said it before, we've said it again. As long as Sewell, Goff, Gibbs, St. Brown, and Hutchinson are here, they have a core that's younger and better than most in the NFL. The window is wide open. Even with Branch and Joseph and all the other seasoning and injuries, like my long-term confidence in what has been built here is still where it was before this season started.
Yeah, I'm there. I think that it's understandable to have the concerns that you do because you've never seen this type of sustained winning, sustained relevancy for the Detroit Lions. I mean, regardless of what happens, Dan Campbell gets one more win. That's 4 straight winning seasons. And in Detroit Lions lore, that's just nothing to sneeze at.
Exactly.
So, has the season gone the way you would like it with the injuries?
No.
No, absolutely not. Mm-mm. But you know what? Hey, things just happen. I would like to think though that based on the way that they use those later picks on those, I'll take that back. Not later picks, those third and fourth.
Stop throwing away third and fourth round picks. Yeah.
I would like to think that moving forward, Brad Holmes has learned from that. Also in the way that they navigated free agency, bringing back guys like no offense to Marcus Davenport, but I understand you brought him back on a cheap deal, but he hasn't played the majority of the season. So hopefully they've learned from their mistakes and moving forward. But I think as long as you have those players you mentioned, Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, I think that the window of them being a good to great team is it's here.
It's wide open for multiple years. I will just say the one thing I'd like to change is when you are banking on guys like Levi Onwuzurike, Marcus Davenport, and Josh Paschal to be healthy for you, you better have an insurance policy. Those 3 can't be your answer. We saw that kind of derail the season for a little bit once again. Paschal never played. Onwuzurike was done before the season started. Davenport was out in week 2. He's back now, but like, you do need more than one edge rusher.
Yeah, and I don't want to say like, hey, those guys should lose their jobs. Hey, you should bring those guys back. But at the same time, you have to be practical. These guys have been continuously injured.
Yes.
They have continuously not been in the lineup. How can you realistically bring them back next year and count on them
as the answers?
Yeah,
not just period.
I don't think you can do that.
No,
I just don't.
Bring them back, but have plans.
If you decide to, but I just think that it with the way things are going right now, with those players specifically, and maybe a couple others, you might just have to just say, hey, you know what? We tried it our way. This way didn't work. Let's go back to the drawing board and try something different.
And I understand why fans are frustrated, because if 2024's injuries didn't rattle that into him, then how is it? So yeah, I just the argument like, oh, we already have one elite edge rusher. Why do we need another? Well, you got 2 tackles, you got 2 running backs, you got 2 wide receivers, you got 2 safeties. Like,
I don't necessarily think you need more than one elite edge rusher, but you definitely need some good ones, healthy ones.
Like, yes, exactly. I think that's what frustrates people the most is like, all right, you told us we were crazy for wanting more edge rushers, and then you brought back 3 chronically injured guys and drafted a project in the 6th round as the answer. Like, that's what you should be frustrated about. I still fully trust Brad Holmes' ability in the draft. There's just some things that as this franchise change and expectations change and the roster bubble shrinks and shrinks and shrinks and shrinks, that you need to adjust just a little bit. What you've done is magical. It's great. It's built for the long term, but just a couple tweaks.
And y'all think they'll be smooth sailing.
That's all we got for you. Los Angeles this weekend, 4:25 start, I believe, around these parts. I'll be in the West Coast time zone. But yeah, we'll be back after the game on Sunday. Please, anytime, 24/7, 365, text questions, voice memos, send them to the Dungeon of Doom at MLive.com. We will get to them. We are your Dungeon of Doom podcast. I'm Ben Raven. He's Kory Woods. Kory, feel better.
Thank you.
Because I need you tomorrow. I'm just kidding. Feel better, period.